Original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers. This is our Friday mini episode where we talk about conspiracies, weird things, the paranormal, true crime, hot topics, but in a shorter version. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I, producer Maria.
Today is April Fool's Day, but this podcast is no joke.
Oh, God.
So today we are going to talk about the history of April Fools and then like some really silly April Fool's pranks that have gone wrong. And we have an incredible guest, Miss Gaby Dunn, who you probably know from the internet, podcasting, YouTube, best-selling author, I think like two-time best-selling author, a whole bunch of stuff. So she's waiting in the waiting room. Let's
Should we let her in?
Yeah,
let this bitch in.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. We just introduced you as saying, let's let this dumb bitch in the chat.
I hope that stays in.
Oh,
it
yeah.
will.
That's just on brand for us.
I can't believe you're letting like a weird fan be on your show.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Weird.
kind of
That's
scary.
Weird of you guys.
Well, we're a fan of yours, though, so it's weird. It's really
My
weird.
partner was like, why do you call into their show? I want to. What do you mean?
Because I'm a stalker.
person.
You've read the restraining order. Gaby, so I didn't know how to introduce you because you're kind of like a Jill of all trades. I said like have this great podcast, Bad with Money, which is like a financial podcast for people who like don't quite have it together.
And the new season dropped today, right?
Yes, yesterday.
Wow.
It just
Timing, baby. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Hell
the demographic of web crawlers and Bad with Money is just a full circle.
Honestly, though, I bet a lot of people would appreciate your podcast because I think like me, we're kind of not financially savvy and like don't know how to count. So I bet they would really benefit. Yeah.
Like nobody is. That's like the thing. You like all these shows you go on and you listen to them and they start with like, so like the GDP and like the NASDAQ, whatever. And you're like, oh, I need to know
out.
like
Yeah,
what is a dollar? Like, I need to start at like money. What is? And so like that's where there's first season of the show. Yeah, that's where it starts. Is basically like I have this like big time investment woman on who's like so famous, and my first question to her is like, my first question is so what is a stock?
Okay,
That's such a good
no
question,
joke.
though.
Yeah, it's important because I don't get that shit either. Although one time we had ghost hunters on and I asked them, what's a ghost? And Maria made fun of me for like 20 minutes. She's like, okay, Diane Sawyer, like
Well, it was
stupid
the
question.
most hard-hitting question they'd ever heard. Was just, let's get down to it. What is a ghost?
Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
I would want to know because like we all think we know, but like
Exactly.
what even is it?
Yeah, the smartest person in the room is the person who's not embarrassed to ask a question.
That's
Sorry.
right. That's right.
So
I'm pointing to me and Gaby. So you have this podcast and then you've written like several books. What books have you written?
So the other podcast I do is called Just Between Us. And I wrote 2 books with the girl I do that podcast with called her name's Allison Raskin. And we did 2 books that were like YA novels called
that's awesome.
I Hate Everyone But You and also Please Send Help. And then I did a Bad with Money book, which I am it's my favorite thing that I've done. It took a long time to write, but it's like a nonfiction sort of like memoir, but also like about how to be better with money and what my specific problems were. And if those are your problems, how to fix them.
I have that book.
Oh
Didn't finish it because I don't know how to read, but I did start it, and I highly suggest buying it.
I live with my partner and my literal best friend, and she hasn't read it. So
Wow.
My other best friend is an author, and she's written like 3 YA books, and I haven't read them either. But I feel like if you own them, that's helpful.
Just owning them is fine.
Yeah, you got to pre-order
support
it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about April Fools, like the history of April Fools, which is my least favorite holiday.
I hate it.
It's the worst.
It's so stupid. And then like some April Fool's stories. And please chime in as necessary or as you want.
I did research. I have two. I have two just at the end of your thing.
Oh my God, damn, bitch.
You said I could. Well,
Yeah.
you said if you wanted to come with some or whatever. This
Yes.
is the most exciting. I got vaccinated earlier today, and I was like, "Stay awake, bitch! Look alive! You got web crawlers at 3."
There's finally something to live for. Did you get Moderna or Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson?
Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Pfizer?
Sir.
Allie, that was an off-brand. You didn't get the vaccine if you got a Pfizer vaccine. You got
Oh,
a
you got
vaccine.
Pfizer?
Whoops. This guy in an alley gave me the Pfizer vaccine.
No. I told Allie one time that my partner, because we listened to web crawlers, and I told Allie that my partner was like, I know that we listen to this show all the time, but like, what is it about? I was like,
Who knows?
that's such a good question. I was like,
That's
it's
honestly
about
the perfect.
it's about everything and nothing. You know what I mean? And my partner was like, yeah, like we listen to it and like I enjoy the episodes, but like I don't really. What's the through line? I was like, I don't
Like, just
know.
give me a sentence. Just give me a sentence as to what
log
this
line.
show's about.
We're like Seinfeld. We're a show about nothing.
Yeah.
It's about nothing.
We're the podcast about nothing. Well, just be wary. I got a headache and diarrhea. I love to talk about my bodily functions. So
Wait,
just,
from the
No.
vaccine?
Or right now.
yeah, from my first shot. Well, right now
I
also
thought you
because
meant
that's
right
like
now,
my
and you were like,
that's my
"Be
Jewish
careful."
ecosystem. But yeah, but after the vaccine, that was my first vaccine side effect.
Oh
is
no,
I got-
my sister and my partner had no problems. Mine
amazing.
hurt. So like afterwards we were outside and they were just like, we had no problems. It was fine. Also, they gave us like a 20% discount for CVS. And I was like, mine hurt and no one gave me shit.
it's a you thing.
Damn.
All right. Well, enough shooting the shit.
Tell me about April Fool's, Allie. Sing me a
Enough
song.
with that. History of April Fools. I got this from, one of the websites I visit most often every morning, history.com, to do my learning. April Fool's Day started, crazy enough, in 1582, long time ago. And it started in France because France was changing from something called the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah.
And the new year or spring began on April 1st in the Gregorian calendar. But that wasn't when it began in the Julian calendar. So basically, like spring began on a different day now. But not everyone realized that they had changed the Gregorian calendar. So some people were still using the Julian calendar, and everyone was like, these fucking idiots. They didn't get the memo. We've changed to the Gregorian calendar. They don't realize it's spring yet. That's so embarrassing for them.
So what would they do? Like wear hats and coats still? And then like people would be laughing, being like, it's spring, you idiot.
They're like, they don't realize it's spring.
Like what? I was about to say, what was the prank? The prank was surprise it's spring.
Listen, there wasn't a lot of excitement back then, so honestly, maybe.
When you said the 1500s, I was like, what was the prank? Like, you thought our kid died of tuberculosis. Turns out he's alive. JK, 5 minutes later, he died. Like, what is your prank?
I have dysentery. Psych.
You thought we had 2 cows. We have 1. Psych. Like, what is the prank?
1500
well, that's a great
pranks.
question. I'll tell you what the prank was.
Please.
And there's something called Poisson d'Avril, which is the April fish. And the people who knew it was the Gregorian calendar and knew it was April, knew it was spring, would cut out paper fishes and put it on the backs of the people who didn't realize it was spring yet. And they'd be like, April fish.
So middle school?
Like a kick me sign.
Yeah, that's honestly upsetting.
It's embarrassing. I think it's more embarrassing for the people who are pulling these fish pranks. Because I guess fish, like, represented gullible people. I don't know, dude. This is like what...
Gull.
Excuse
What's
you?
a goal?
Oh, like a seagull?
I don't know. Oh,
Gill,
you're
like
getting,
a gill?
what's-
Gull?
Gillable people?
I don't
Gullible
know.
people. Well,
Listen.
that's the iteration of that word. That's the etymology of that word now.
Listen, bros. So then they also did this in ancient Rome. There was like a festival called Hilaria
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Everyone had to pretend not to know how to say cucumber.
Yeah.
That was the phrase.
How do you say cucumber?
I'm from Boston, but I don't speak English. They would dress up in disguises and
Halloween.
Yeah.
like honestly, like April Fool's kind of is Halloween.
That's galaxy brain.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh my God, it
wait.
is.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
People don't know what a prank is because
No.
they don't. Because there's a difference between like I'm being mean to you and a prank.
Right.
A prank
100%.
a prank requires, I've had this argument on the internet before. A prank requires that there is the then relief part where you
Yes.
realize, oh, haha, it was a prank. If it's just mean or scary, it's not
Yes.
a prank.
Yeah.
Gabby, I'm so glad you said that because that leads into my first April Fool's story, which is
Okay.
why I don't like this holiday, although
Oh,
I've never
no.
liked it. So I had an ex-boyfriend play an April Fool's prank on me that was just mean. And it led to us breaking up, not immediately after, but like for many reasons. It turned out he was like sleeping with escorts and a bunch of other weird stuff.
That was the prank. I'm sleeping with escorts.
And I'm not telling you about it. And I'm not telling you about it. And the prank part is you found out.
Enjoy the STDs. Just kidding. I don't have them. But so I don't know if you remember in like 2017, Uber was like, we're delivering puppies to people. So you can like Uber puppies to your house if you want.
I remember that.
Why were they doing that?
I don't know. It was some like, I think they were in cahoots with like the ASPCA to like help with adoptions.
Yeah.
So it was
Oh.
like,
Right.
yeah, it was like, there's these puppies are up for cahoots.
The lowest stakes cahoots of all time.
Yeah. with Big Shelter. They're in cahoots with Big Shelter. And so he texted me being like, hey, I'm going to Uber puppies to your house so you can play with them for the day. And I was like, oh my God, that is so exciting. And so then he's like, okay, he texted me being like, okay, they're like 10 minutes away, wait outside and
God.
wait for them. And I said, okay. So then I waited outside and then I get a text from this other number being like, hey, this is the Uber driver. Like one of the puppies just peed in the car. So I have to like pull over and clean it up, but we're on the way. And then, so I'm waiting like another half an hour outside. I text my ex-boyfriend my boyfriend at the time being like, this guy's still not here. And then he's like, okay, let me call. And then I get another text from the Uber driver being like, one of the puppies just threw up. Like I had to go through the car wash. We're on our way though. And then I get another text from the Uber driver, like, sorry, like went to the wrong house. Like, can you confirm your address again? Blah, blah. So then
This is insane.
I'm waiting outside literally my house for an hour thinking puppies are coming. And then my boyfriend calls me being like, April Fools, the puppies aren't coming. And the other number was my secretary.
No.
Allie, that's insane.
That's
Yeah.
mean.
Here's how this
Mean.
could become a prank. Okay? Here's how it becomes an actual prank.
He buys me a puppy.
Yeah, something where like there's relief. Like, so a car rolls up. It opens. There's a bunch of balloons in the car, like balloon animals that are shaped like
Yes.
puppies. You're
Right.
like, these
That's
aren't
funny.
puppies. The Uber driver like takes his mask off. He's like, I don't know.
The puppy's driving, and the puppy,
He's
the
the puppy
one.
who's driving.
And
Like,
the car's
the
filled
prank-
with humans.
Yeah,
in order-
exactly. That's funny.
In order for a prank to be a prank, it has to then have a resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Exactly.
And you can't
Yeah.
be feeling horrible afterward.
Yeah.
Like you can't leave it just being like, well, I feel horrible and I wasted a day.
Right.
That's
Yes.
insane.
Or it has to be like that you texted your number And then that was, or you texted your address. That was how this person got your address. Boom. There's a huge cake made of like, you know, whatever that looks like a dog. Something.
Yes.
But like there has to be a resolution. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Which leads us to like all these April Fool's things gone wrong.
And April Fool's pranks are not just lying. Just
Exactly.
lying is not
That's
a prank.
So good.
And that's also
Such
like
a
what
good point.
corporations do. Like, for example, Chips Ahoy tweeted out today introducing Dips Ahoy. And they said they're going to release like Dunkaroos, little cookies that you can dip in frosting.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
And then
idea.
they tweeted like, actually, no, it's an April Fool's. That's not a real product. Why would you do that? That's a great product idea. Now people are pissed that doesn't exist.
That's a lie. That's just a lie. So
That's a lie. Yeah. No one is like, oh, you got me. It's like, fuck you.
Oh god.
I just like every prank that comes up, I'm like, I have notes. Okay, first of all, really good first draft. I would
workshop
say
this.
that like the second half of it like could be stronger. So like instead, then you should say, JK, we're not making it. Then you should say, JK, we are.
We
It has-
are.
End on a high note. End
That'd
on a
be
high
good.
note.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like first act is fine. It's second act that we need to
Clean
bring
up.
some relief to.
Yeah.
I will read two quick listener ones before Melissa gets into other ones. This one girl said that she broke up with her college boyfriend on April Fool's Day, but this is like back when Facebook was a thing. This is 2010. But they had to stay in a relationship for 1 day more on Facebook so that their mutual friends wouldn't think it was a joke.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
Crazy.
dark.
That used
Yeah.
to be a full prank. Would just be like in a relationship
Right.
with or married to, and that would be the prank.
It's complicated with.
Or like, remember, people would just put up like a random sonogram and just be like, I'm
oh my
pregnant.
God. The
My friend Ryan
sonogram.
did that. Our friend, I used to work in this office, and I worked with this girl Gina, and then this guy Ryan, and we used to do pranks with each other, like on Facebook, doing that stuff. And one day Gina got up from her Facebook and left it on, and Ryan uploaded a sonogram photo. And when Gina came back, all her family members were like, Gina, it was horrible. It was the worst. It was amazing, but it was like, that's insane. That's insane.
Okay, well, I think that's funny. I mean, that sucks. For
That is
Gina,
kinda
but I think
funny.
That's funny. That's a good one, Ryan. I like
That's
it.
pretty good.
Then this is kind of like along the same vein. This girl named Megan said, "Hi, not a great story, but my birthday is April Fool's and my dad is a huge prankster. He called his entire family when I was born, and no one believed him. Basically, so he called from the hospital and was like, we had a baby, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
"Haha,
right.
no, you didn't." So basically I did not exist until they saw me in person a week later. Now thinking about it, I should celebrate 2 birthdays. Don't make any announcements on April Fool's.
I like whoopee cushions. Whoopee cushions are my
Yeah.
favorite prank.
Then the relief is you didn't fart.
You
or
didn't
you
fart.
did,
Yeah.
and nobody knew it was you.
That's the best part about a whoopee cushion. You can let one loose and nobody knows. Melissa, that's why you should carry one around all the time. Melissa, what are some of
Yeah.
these other stories you found?
Well, today, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, is trending that DJ Quick, who's like a big rapper from the 90s, he said he got shot.
And what's the relief?
And then he's like, psych.
No.
And like all these publications put out like, oh, condolences to his family. Like he got shot. And he was like, just kidding.
Also, like, such
No.
a bad taste given everything that's going on in the world right now.
Correct.
Because everyone would
Correct.
totally believe that. Like, yeah, it's possible. People are getting shot all the
Holy
time.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Crazy.
so Taco Bell in 1996,
Oh, no.
they put out full page ads saying that they bought the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia and they were renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell.
I remember this.
Do you remember this?
Oh
I
my
think
God,
I
this
remember
sounds
this too.
good
I
to
was
me.
like 12. And
Oh,
so even
man.
like these politicians called the National Park Service to find out why they sold this to Taco Bell. They were
I
like,
don't
this is fucked
remember
up.
this.
Okay, that's good.
That's kind of
good.
funny. That's kind of
I
funny.
do like that.
And then in Kansas City in 2002, these DJs, these like morning radio DJs,
Ooh.
they announced that the drinking water had been tested for high levels of dihydrogen monoxide, which turns
Just
out,
water.
yeah, it's a chemical term for H2O.
Oh my God.
So like,
Gabby.
it wasn't a lie. Are you a scientist?
Jesus
No,
Christ.
I like know trivia and facts.
That's a good one to know.
My partner was like, I love watching you watch Jeopardy. It's just like a little robot.
That is so impressive.
You're like King Edward III. You're like, how do you know this?
The problem is that when I get one right, I do dab. So
Oh.
it really balances it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a high
And I
lower.
would- I would do that on the show. Can you imagine? It's like something like that.
Oh,
I'm like, it's dihydrogen monoxide. Dab.
I think it would be the funniest thing to go on Jeopardy and answer every question just your mom. But you get enough, like you do enough where like you can be in Final Jeopardy, you know, and then you use your mom for
Yeah.
Final Jeopardy. But how funny would
That's
that be if
great,
every,
Maria.
what is your mom? And like every time
What
he
is
would
your
just
mom?
have to be like, that is incorrect.
No, that's not
Incorrect. Anyone else? Anyone else?
So people flipped out and thought the water was poison.
Yeah, over 150 people called to complain. They were like, okay,
That's
sorry.
sad. That's
sorry.
sad.
Yeah, that's stupid. And then this is crazy. This is in 2015, the Manchester Police Department in the UK tweeted, know someone in prison? You can get them released early by voting for them on here. The prisoners with the most votes wins a holiday. It was like vote your favorite prisoner out of prison.
like American Idol for prisoners. That is
Yeah.
like very fucked up.
And so
That
like,
is
parents
hot-
who
wow.
had like children who were murdered by these prisoners were like so pissed. One father called it a slap in the face.
How did they?
Well, too bad he doesn't have enough friends to vote for someone else, so his kid doesn't.
I know.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble from this podcast.
Holy shit! How
Get
did
more
that
friends.
pass? Yeah, get more friends.
Vote,
Crazy.
vote
Yes.
your person out. That one is fucked up for so many reasons, and
Yeah.
then there's like a lot where I think people just don't think about other people's. Like the Taco Bell, Liberty Bell one, that's funny because
Yeah, that
nobody's
doesn't hurt anyone.
Like the even putting up, I've seen people talk about like putting up a sonogram is super not nice to people who are like infertile or who are trying to like have a baby.
Yeah.
Like just like certain, like think when you do it, think, is this gonna hurt someone?
Right.
Yeah.
And then don't.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy.
When in doubt, don't, they say. I'm just very confused about like how, like what, like PR person or social media person or like head of jails was like,
Ooh.
this will be good for us.
Because they don't like, they just don't have any empathy
They're not
for
funny.
the people. Yeah, they
They're
like
not,
don't.
it's not funny people trying to be funny.
It's
Yeah.
amateur hour.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it
Here's
is.
one that I
amateur
found
hour.
that's super.
Yeah,
not
what is
funny.
it?
Okay. In 2014, I won't say her name, I guess, but in 2014, a woman texted her daughter to say she could hear gunshots being fired at the college she worked at. The daughter couldn't get in touch with her mom after that, so she called 911 and police arrived at Virginia colleges within minutes but didn't find a shooting, and then the person was arrested for aggravated breach of peace and disturbing a school.
Wait, what year was that?
2014.
Oh.
This person, and I looked it up, and this person was like in her 50s, and the daughter was in her 30s, and she was just like, "There's a shooter at the college I work at," and then like put her phone away.
Oh,
See, that
What
needs a
is
punch
that?
up.
For who? Who's that for? It's not even funny for the person doing it. It's like, that's not even fun for
No.
anyone.
No, that's a sociopathic mom. That's like not like Munchausen's, but that's like along
Yeah.
the lines of like, I'm a mom who really needs attention from my daughter. I'm like sick and unwell.
You know what's a funnier prank is if you go, oh my God, to your daughter, you go, oh my God, I just shit my pants.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
And then the daughter's like, what? And she's like, I just shit my pants.
Yeah, like bring me another pair of pants to
Yeah,
to
it's
work.
covered.
Like I
I'm covered.
That's actually a really good prank.
I need you to bring me pants.
But then when she gets there with new pants, then you should have like a donut for her or something.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, a
Fools.
chocolate donut. See, April Fools. What was the other one you found?
Okay, so this is the other one I found. A radio prank. First of all, ban the radio. There should not be any radio allowed because all radio pranks go poorly.
They
Yes,
do.
100%.
I think hot topic here. No nuance November. No, ban the radio. Okay. So radio prank in Brighton likely caused a cliff to collapse. A radio station once, basically a radio DJ said, "Oh, you can see a replica of the Titanic if you go to this like cliff." And all the hundreds of listeners were like, "Ooh, we want to see a replica of the Titanic."
What?
So they went to the cliff, and then so many people were on the cliff and it wasn't used to that weight that it cracked.
No.
And then when all the people, but then nobody got hurt because then all the people got off the cliff, and then after it cracked, then it nobody was on it, but
Oh, thank God.
it fell, it broke because
my
not that
God.
many people were not
God.
supposed to be on it. Yeah.
That's
Holy
insane.
shit. That
April
is...
Fools.
Yeah,
Fools,
April
we broke
Fools,
a
I
cliff.
destroyed nature. Holy
You see that
shit.
movie We Bought a Zoo? It's I broke a cliff.
I broke a cliff.
We broke a cliff.
We broke a cliff.
Have you guys seen that TikTok video of that girl? I think it's a TikTok. It might not be, but the girl calls her mom. You see, this is a funny prank. This is funny, and she goes, "Mom, the police want." Just pulled me over for speeding. I said that you were hurt, and that's why I was rushing home. And he said he didn't believe me, so he's gonna come in the house. So you need to pretend you're hurt on the floor when I come in the
I
house.
saw
And
this. This is amazing.
and the girl comes in the house, and her mom's on the kitchen floor, like writhing, and the girl is laughing, and the mom just gets up and looks, and like it's the funniest thing.
That's
the problem is-
so funny.
You have to then know that the next time you're in trouble, that person will not help you.
You're
Cried
done.
wolf. Yeah.
You're done.
I feel like there's no positive benefit to a prank ever. Like, I don't know. I'm so not into them.
I want to be in the meeting where the radio DJ was like, what's something that people would really want to see? What's something that will get them out in droves? We'll tell them that they can see a replica of the Titanic.
That'll
You know
get
what's
them.
A funny prank
Hundreds
to
of
that.
people said yes.
A funny prank to that would be to go to this cliff and there's just this tiny little boat, like so, like something like that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yes.
If it was like this miniature little boat just sitting on a table.
See, there you go. There you go.
Well, speaking
That's
of
good.
morning radio DJs,
Uh-oh.
Opie and Anthony,
Oh,
they
no.
said in 1998 that the Boston mayor, Tom Menino, died in a car crash.
Oh,
And people believe them. They got fired. But it also made them like famous. Like that's how they became
Really?
famous. Yeah.
I see. This is the thing. Car crash is not funny.
No.
You're gonna say that. I guess it's like the idea is like, well, we should make it real. No,
Yeah.
if you're gonna say that like a celebrity died, make it so that it's like the people who believe it are being stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, Menino, we used to work at the Boston Globe, and Menino used to call into the Globe. He's
Wow.
passed away for real now.
Yeah.
But he used to call into the Globe, and this isn't very nice, but his voice is very distinctive. But I thought it was he called and I picked up one time, and I was like, it's somebody pretending to be the mayor, because I was like, there's no way that's his real voice, and then it was him,
Oh my God.
no.
an icon.
You're like,
Wow.
I was like, what?
Prank call,
This
dude.
jokester is like he thinks he's gonna make like I'm gonna believe that it's the mayor. Okay.
No.
Then it like was him.
Hello, this is the mayor. What is this aliens thing, Melissa?
Okay, so a newspaper in Al Jafur, which is a small city in Jordan, reported in 2010 that an alien spacecraft had landed near them. And everyone thought it was real. The mayor was like, students didn't go to school. Their parents were frightened, and I almost had to evacuate the town's 13,000 residents. An editor for the paper said they just wanted to entertain, not scare people.
But that's War of the Worlds. That's not even original.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so stupid. That's
It's
another
so
stupid
dumb.
one.
I would
It's
be
so dumb.
disappointed. I feel like Allie too. Like I would be disappointed being like, so there's not aliens, is what
I
you're
know.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
What a
Also,
bummer.
like, I'll say, like, for people who have like anxiety or in a state of like hypervigilance, like,
mhm.
I don't like being scared or surprised or like startled. I also like already have issues with trust. So if you tell me something and then you're like, just kidding, like my whole world is shattered. Like, don't prank me. Like, I already have issues.
Well, I was going to say, I haven't watched that Bad Trip movie yet, but of the trailer I watched where like he's doing these horrific things to himself and like these people are watching and it's like if I was watching someone like put a hand in a blender and then like I get that it's not real a little bit after someone's going to say that wasn't real, but it's still going to shake me to my core to where that's not going to be okay. In grade school, we were doing witch trial, like skits or whatever. And this one guy in my class.
Wait, what?
No idea where this is going.
What?
What? You were doing what?
We were like, you got put into groups and then you would
Burn,
have to
Hilda, burn!
You burn a witch?
We'd burn one kid in the class that we thought was
Wow.
a trickster. No, it was like you just had, I don't know what the thing was, but it was like we got into groups and we'd have to do like skits of like what a witch trial would like seem like. So like one person would be on the trial and then I don't know what it was, but basically everyone was doing it like really normally. And then this one kid got up and he was being silent the whole time and he was like the witch. And he was sitting there and people were like, you're a witch, you're a witch. And then he just vomited on himself because he had been holding stuff in his mouth because he was pretending like he was possessed by the devil. And the teacher, and because I have extreme phobia throwing up.
Yeah, you do.
I was sitting there being like, what? And I was like, I have to go to the nurse. I have to go to the nurse. And the teacher was like, do you see what you did? You really affected people here. And then I'm like in the nurse's office being like, a kid just fake threw up in class.
Okay, back it up.
Well, you have emetophobia. Is that what it's called? Emetophobia?
Is that what that is?
I'm sorry. This is what's wrong with the way that we view systemic issues. Because your teacher said to you, your teacher yelled at that kid, do you see what you did? You affected people. Bitch, you're the one who made them do the Salem witch trials. You affected people.
No one was supposed to be that real.
He was just trying to make
He was
it
just
creative.
getting a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably was trying to be creative and got
Where
confused.
did you grow up?
In LA, baby. It's the land of Hollywood. He knew what he was doing.
That kid grew up to be Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, seriously, 100%. I bet that
I
kid is famous
assume.
now.
Bam Margera.
That is so crazy. Oh, poor Bam. I feel like Bam went a weird direction.
Also, Maria, I love that you were like, well, you know, in 5th grade, we had to do the Salem witch trials, and the three of us are like,
you know,
you
when
had
you
to
do that.
Yeah. Go on.
I don't know why we did it. I don't know what the point of it.
Did you guys ever do a thing in school you had to pretend to be immigrants? And like go
No,
through
but that's a
No.
little risky.
We had a day where all of us would have to, we were assigned a country and then you had to dress up like that country with your family, like other people in the whatever. And then you had to, they did the gym and you had to go through immigration.
Where did you grow up?
God.
Florida.
Okay, well, they're
It's all making
asked
sense.
and answered. Asked and answered.
My dad volunteered to be one of the like guards.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What a prankster.
What a prankster.
Classic prank.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things that got away, that you could get away with, like, I feel like in like the 90s or
Nope.
not happening now. Rightfully so, you know.
Well, Burger King. So in
Yeah.
1998, Burger
I'm
King.
dying to tell this Burger King story.
I
Tell
love
me.
it. I love it. So they said that they would offer a version of the Whopper that had been carefully designed for left-handed people.
Okay.
And then people showed up to Burger King asking for the left-handed Whopper.
This is funny.
And then
See,
you just
this is
give them the
funny.
regular Whopper.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's just marketing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is
you
marketing. That's good. That's a good prank.
It is good. It's smart. It's funny. No one gets hurt. And it's a little trick. It's a little trick. It's a little
And at
trick.
the end, you get a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, Maria, have you ever pulled a prank? I feel like you're a prankster.
I feel like I have, but I'd have to think. Oh, I did. Okay, so I my good friend Nilo, we lived together, and she was always very much like scared people were like casing out the apartment. It was like, you know, she
Is
was
she
very
okay?
aware. What?
Is she okay?
Is she on crack?
Okay.
So one day or one night, I was in my room and I wrote murder backwards on my window in lipstick.
Oh, that's good.
And I went, Nilo, get in here. You're not going to believe this. And she came in, and I have a picture of her seeing it because she came in the room and I went, look what I just saw. And she looked at the window and she looked at me and she just put her hand over her mouth like this. And the fear on her face. I couldn't, it was so fun. I was laughing. I was like, well, obviously it's not real. See, something like that. It's like, obviously that's like a movie prank.
Yeah.
Why was she so worried about people casing your apartment?
It's people are out and about. People are, they lurk. There's lurkers.
People
And the one time that you do like need help, like a serial killer, that's like the beginning of the movie.
Right.
I know.
Where like then the serial killer does come and it's like, oh, haha, Maria, whatever.
Exactly. And
That's
then
very
shanked.
funny though.
That is a good one.
You know.
Well, if you guys listening have like stories about April Fools, or if you've done them or been on the receiving end or have any thoughts or anything like that, please email us or voicemail us.
Voicemail us.
Voicemail us and let us know. Gaby, if people want to find you online, where can they do so?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Gaby Road, GabyRoad. And then the Bad with Money podcast just came out. It's brand new. And like all of my stuff is like GabyDunn.com.
Awesome.
But yeah, you can also just find me in the voicemail queue of web crawlers.
You called in about the city coroner job.
I want it so bad. Every time show business stops doing well, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna run for coroner.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. And they make a lot of money. We actually seriously went on a detour after you left that voicemail. And that's what got us into those weird clay heads that they make of the missing people and stuff.
Oh.
So fucking weird.
That one is rough.
Yeah.
Then they'll like find the actual person and you'll see a picture and they are like pretty, but like the head was like so ugly and you're like, oh no.
Oh God. Yeah, it's bad news. Thank you, Gaby, so much for being on. You're always a delight. You'll have to come on again. And we really
please.
appreciate it.
This is the most I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm too excited.
Gotta calm down.
Go nap off that Pfizer.
What if the big April Fool's joke was that we weren't recording and you weren't on the episode?
Oh my God, I would cry.
That would be so mean. Can you imagine?
This is just
That would be so.
Oh my God, Maria's dying.
You would like block us on social media. You would never talk to us again.
I would do the opposite where I'd be like, that was really funny, guys. So like you don't want me to be on the show, or
It's just so mean and like so unnecessary to like do that to someone.
It's just a joke, Gaby.
No, that's just a lie.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lie. Example of a bad prank. Thank you so much, Gaby.
Oh my
Enjoy your
God.
nap.
Oh, bye.
Bye. All right. Well, if you want to email us, please do so and have a good day. I'm Allie. Don't prank me, Siegel.
I'm Melissa, left-handed Whopper Stetton.
And I'm Maria Witch Trials Blasucci.
Oh, weird.
Adios.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.